Welcome back to Horror Movie Month. Once again, you know him. This is Zito. Say what's up.
Yeah.
And another special guest here, Shamara.
Hi.
And today we're going to review one of the most profitable horror movies ever from one of the most profitable horror movie icons.
And that is
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Elm Street.
So basically this movie was directed by the one and only Wes Craven. He's not really known for making a lot of movies. He did pass away recently, which is kind of sad, so I want to review a couple of his movies. We're going to also review The People Under the Stairs, another movie made by him. I also want to review The Hills Have Eyes, but this is probably his best movie by far. So yeah, this story is basically about a whole group of teenagers. They basically find out that they're being stalked in their dream by some kind of shadowy figure known as Freddy Krueger. He basically is like some kind of burned man that wears a hat or something like that with knives on his finger. And basically the whole concept is if you die in your dream, it's lights out in real life, basically. So, and how they learn about him is he was basically like a child killer, and the parents of Elm Street didn't like him, so they chased him down and burned him alive in the shed, and he basically died. But he later then came back alive and started killing these teenagers as like when they sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, this movie came out in 1984, and today it's still scary as frick. Like it's still scary today. It hasn't really lost inches. Like,
And one of the parts is when teenager sleeping on a bed or listening to music.
those suspense scenes are top notch in this movie, even though this is a low budget horror movie. Robert Englund is amazing as Freddy Krueger. He's the one and only Freddy Krueger. What do you think about the acting in this movie, Shamar?
That thing stinks. I think it's very good.
The acting in this movie is top notch. I have to give it that. The directing in this movie is okay. The directing in this movie is okay. Freddy Krueger himself doesn't really pop up, like keep on popping up. They give it a fair time for the teenage scenes and the suspense scenes, and it actually works. It works in the movie very good. And like you mentioned, that scene where Freddy Krueger kills Glenn, who's also played by Johnny Depp. This is his very first movie, and he kills Glenn, and he gets stuck down in the bed, and that blood gushing up on the ceiling. That scene was actually originally made upside down, and then they had to switch the camera angle, and it actually really worked for a low budget horror movie. And do you remember that scene where Freddy was talking to Nancy on the phone, and then his tongue sticked out of the phone? They said they said that effect was literally $2. And the thing that confused me was she wasn't dreaming, but she could still see Freddy. How is that possible? She wasn't sleeping, she was awake, and Freddy was still there. So,
as you guys know, we're not talking about Freddy from Night of Freddy.
we're Freddy Krueger. But yeah, the concept that we're going for this movie, it was so original. It spawned a lot of sequels. Most of the sequels are horror comedies. This is the one that's like the best out of the entire franchise. And yes, it's so good and it sounds so good. If you haven't seen this movie, definitely check it out. It's definitely a must-see horror movie, and it changed the horror genre for the 80s. It sounds so good. It looks so good. It is good. And I trust you if you just see this movie and experience for yourself. This Halloween, you will love this movie. What do you think about it?
It's very good because the details are in it, and like you said, plays backwards and other stuff.
Yes, the camera work in this movie is amazing. It's not like anything like The Shining camera work, but it is good enough. And what Wes Craven did, him behind the camera, he wanted to focus some certain shots on the teenagers and what they were basically going through in life. They don't just put these horny characters and just put them in the body count. No, these teenagers were sometimes characters, and they did what they had to do, basically. And Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, he is a master. He's a master as Freddy Krueger. So what do you think?
I think he did a very good job acting.
He did a fantastic job.
And I like the camera angle.
Yes.
So what is your guys' rating for this?
I'll give it a 100 out of 100.
That's too high, but I think that's fair. It is a masterpiece. This movie is a masterpiece on so many levels. I mean, I wouldn't put this on like maybe my #1 best horror movie ever, because it's not really my favorite horror movie ever, but it is in my top 3 in my opinion. But if you look at all of those horror movie villains like Michael Myers, Jason, Chucky, Freddy Krueger is up there. And he's up there. He's probably one of the most popular. The most popular, actually. And would you think he's probably the scariest out of all of them? He has to be.
Oh, kind of crazy.
Yeah, because think about it. Michael Myers can kill. He stalks babysitters and stuff like that, and kills people with knives. Jason's basically a hockey master dude who walks around in the Camp Crystal Lake slaughtering people with machetes. This guy can kill you in your sleep, basically. So that makes him top number one out of all of them, basically. And this movie has remained timeless ever since it came out, and basically it made most people afraid to go to sleep. And this movie's just so original in so many ways, and it's definitely one of the most profitable horror movies. What do you think about the directing in this movie?
The directing is very good. Like, let's say it wasn't
Like the camera work.
Yeah, it wasn't in the 80s. Well, it was, but it wasn't in that late to have like no white screen.
Yeah.
It has some colors.
Yeah.
And it was still good.
What do you think about the directing, like the camera angle?
I think like they did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't too blurry, but like it was good.
Yeah, it was really good. Let's see, the knives that they had, the weapons, that was a very good choice of ideas, because
Very good choice. They were sharp.
literally how Wes Craven thought of this story, it was based off of the events of people who actually died when they were sleeping, and he basically made up this figure shadow named as Freddy Krueger and stuff like that, and it became a huge horror icon that everyone loved, and it just kept on watching movies and stuff like that. And this movie remains timeless for a reason. It's scary, it's really entertaining, and I'm probably gonna have to give this movie a full 10 out of 10. What about you?
9.5.
Alright, what about you? Yeah. Alright, so, yeah, and all these other great things about Nightmare on Elm Street, it's just so original. The soundtrack, the score in this movie, the music, it's creepy. It's really creepy. It's unforgettable, just like Halloween. It's not Halloween. It's not Michael Myers, because Michael Myers is a legend. He'll always be a legend. But it's still very scary and stuff like that.
You should check Michael Myers.
Yes, if you haven't seen Michael Myers, I don't even know why you subscribe to my channel. Not just kidding. But anyway, yeah. It's just like this movie's one of the shooting stars out there of the 80s, and you have to like wreck the horror genre to be like one of those movies out there and stuff like that. What do you think?
I can watch it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And I can still get scared.
Yes, I can watch this movie a bunch of times. This is definitely one of the movies that I can watch on Halloween bunch of times. But if you haven't seen A Nightmare on Elm Street, if you have not seen A Nightmare on Elm Street,
You should see.
why? Just why?
Yeah,
Why? Why? Look, why? Just why? So many whys I can put in this video. Why? 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 So many movies come on during the Halloween season, and if you're watching TV right now, and if you run into A Nightmare on Elm Street, watch it. Watch it. Like seriously. Oh my god. But anyway, yeah, this movie it's such a good movie. Yeah, some people will give this movie a 9 out of 10. 10 might be too high, but no, I'm gonna give this movie a full 10 out of 10. It deserves respect. I think it's a great movie that everyone should see at least once. And if you haven't seen this movie by now, what the frick are you doing? Like seriously. Why? Still. Why? Alright, you got any questions? Just so you know, we actually have a interviewer here, Milo, right here. He asks questions. So, do you have any questions?
Question. From one scene, the guy that gets sucked under the bed, how does it go like up like that?
They actually made that scene upside down. So the blood effects, they made that scene upside down. But what they did, when the blood was pouring down, they turned it up the angle. They turned it different to make it look realistic and stuff like that. And it actually worked. It was scary and terrifying. And it was one of those movies that no one saw coming, and it worked for the 80s.
Okay.
So yeah, my number one favorite death in this movie has to be the first death. Like the first death where Freddy chases Tina down, and then he plays with her like a rag doll, and she floats all over the ceiling and stuff like that, and then she falls. That was pretty dope. That was amazing. And the gore fashion in this movie, it's just mind-blowing and stuff like that. And it makes you wonder, if I fall asleep, is this guy gonna haunt me in my dreams? And if I was a kid watching this movie, I would probably piss my pants while trying to watch it. Like, literally. If I was a little kid trying to watch this movie. So, anyway, yeah. That's our review of A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's definitely an instant cult classic. I think it's a movie that everyone should see at least once if you are a fan of horror. If you are a fan of Freddy Krueger, or if you're a fan of horror in general and stuff like that. Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and always watching our horror movie reviews. You guys are amazing and stuff like that. You're amazing too.
As we know, you guys don't know.
As we know, don't piss yourself.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen this movie, definitely check it out around the season of Halloween because it's an amazing movie. It's one of the greatest ones out there. It's not nothing like The Shining or The Exorcist, but it's still very good. And it's a movie that you can watch over and over again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna give this movie an A+. We all give this movie an A+. So yeah.
No, I give it a 9+.
A 9? Yeah, that's basically still an A. Yeah. Alright. So, that's our review, and thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, on Halloween, we have a special horror movie for you. We're gonna review a special horror movie. And yes, but a week before Halloween, we're gonna review a lot of great horror movies. We're gonna review Halloween, we're gonna review... What were we gonna review? The Shining?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna review The Shining.
We're gonna the people under
the people under the stairs. We're gonna review The Hills Have Highs. And we were also gonna review.
I might be not in.
What was that other movie that we were gonna review after Halloween?
Evil Dead.
Yeah, The Evil Dead. So yeah, we're gonna review those movies and stuff like that. Stay tuned for all those movies and stuff like that. You guys are amazing. You guys rock. We love every single one of you. Keep on watching our movie reviews and any content that we make. Actually, if you guys seen every single of my episodes for the Super Mario Brothers show, thank you guys so much for watching all of my episodes. And no matter what you guys do, you guys just keep on watching and watching. Season 2 will be coming out soon, as long as the Luigi's Mansion movie. I probably will post that sometime around Halloween. So stay tuned for that. And just so you know, the Luigi's Mansion movie is Aaron's movie, which will be posted on his channel. Then it will be posted on my channel as well.
Right here.
I might do a director's cut version of it. So you guys stay tuned for the Luigi's Mansion movie. Aaron's right here too. He's gonna be, that's his movie, the Luigi's Mansion movie.
His channel.
So yeah,
his channel is
definitely check out his channel. He doesn't really have a lot of subscribers, so support him. Support him. So yeah,
and
so
me.
yeah.
My channel is Cruz Pineapple.
So yeah, that's our review of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, the acting is great, the plot is good, the characters are very interesting.
And he's gotta introduce me.
Yeah, Aaron's right here again. So yeah.
And me.
Yeah. Before we end this movie review, let's think of our final thoughts about this movie. So let's see. We haven't really talked about the characters. There's Nancy, there's, let's see, there is, Tina, there's, Glenn. All those characters are perfect.
I'll be right back.
I think all those characters are perfect. I did have, like, issues here and there with Nancy, but other than that, she was good. What did you think about Nancy in this movie, the main character? What did you think about Nancy in this movie, the main character? She was amazing? Yeah, I thought she was pretty good in this movie. Nancy, she was really good in this movie. The other characters, Johnny Depp, oh my god, he's amazing. I love Johnny Depp. Yes, he's the legend. He's the legend. And along with Robert Englund, he's the one and only Freddy Krueger. Robert Englund is the true Freddy Krueger. No one can ever replace him. And if they're, like, no, the remake does not count. I've seen the remake. It's not that good of a remake anyway. Nothing will usually beat the original, so yeah. Yeah. So, get over here. We're about to end this review. That's A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a perfect horror movie. It's one of the better ones out there. Wes Craven's best film ever. And if you guys haven't seen it, definitely watch it. If you guys seen it, tell me, comment down below what you thought of A Nightmare on Elm Street. And if you guys haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're doing, because you should click that subscribe button. I do a lot of content hit that like button, and we'll see you next time. And as always, I am
wait.
Mario Fan 520. There will be more horror movies coming to you too, as long as Luigi's Mansion the movie.
Before we go, he's gonna introduce me my channel.
This is his channel's name is
Cruise
Cruise Pineapple.
Hey, you want to see something?
Yeah, hold up. And yeah, that's it for the Nightmare on Elm Street movie
And I do not
review.
have that much subscribers.
Only
Yeah.
7.
So that's it for our movie review. It's one of the great ones and one of the scary ones too. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'm Mario Fan 520, and I will see you next time.
Click
Peace
in
out.
bio.
Subscribe.
My video.
Subscribe.